Edward Snowden is, in his own way, a hero figure. He's obviously a brilliant person, very intelligent in his area of expertise. But I need to say, on the record here, that Edward Snowden does not know what he's talking about when it comes to geoengineering. There are over 100 geoengineering patents that are on file with the Patent Office, and many of them have been taken over by the federal government itself. The government has a multitude of patents about geoengineering, atmospheric chemistry alterations, stratospheric aerosol injections, Project Scopex, all of these things. It saddens me to say this, but Mr. Snowden, you are a brilliant, courageous person, but please don't speak about these things of which you have no knowledge. All right, final segment here on the fourth hour of the show today, here on the Alex Jones Show with Owen Schroyer coming up next from the War Room. I've got a lot to cover here in the next few minutes. Going to give you some comments, not just on Michael Savage, but also Joe Rogan, Edward Snowden, that interview, geoengineering, chemtrails, that kind of thing, and some other comments as well. I got a lot of notes here. That's why I'm looking down if you're watching on video. But one thing first, I want to get this out. It's very important. Michael Savage, a lot of people don't know that Dr. Savage, I call him Dr. Savage because he has a PhD in, I believe, ethnobotany. And he's got several different academic degrees, but I'm a great admirer of Dr. Savage. He is a very clear thinker. He's incredibly intelligent. He's courageous. And I frankly, I think he speaks to us in the spirit of the founding fathers of our country. And I fully support his message, and I think he is a treasure for our country. A lot of people don't know, here's a bit of trivia. I actually coined the title of one of his books called Trickle-Down Tyranny. I coined that phrase. And then it became the title of his book, of that name, obviously. And it was a great book. And I fully support all his books. But I actually came up with that title like a year before the book came out. So I'm very happy to have been able to contribute that phrase to the public lexicon. The other thing is, I want to get this out because I'm being threatened all the time as well, but I'm working on some technology right now. I just want to disclose this publicly. I've shared some of this information with Alex. I'm working on a technology that is a botanically end-capped molecular nanoparticle biosynthesis using green chemistry methods. What that means is I've come up with a way to create some highly functional nanoparticle molecules that deliver powerful elements on the inside surrounded by botanical molecular fragments on the outside that are recognizable by the human body. And my plan here, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to submit to the US Patent Office the full description of how to make this yourself and have the Patent Office publish it, which will release the formula to the public so that everyone can do this for themselves. This is an anti-tumorigenic technology that Big Pharma has been working on for many years. I've been working on it for a few months, and we have nailed it. And we have the proof that it's working. We're doing electron microscopy photographs of these molecules, and we're doing some additional tests as well. A lot more coming out. But I want you to know, I'm patenting this for humanity, patenting it so that no one else can lock it up. And by patenting it, I will get this formula released to the public through the US Patent Office where no one else can steal it and control it. So this is my way of releasing it to the public. What it means is that you will be able to make your own anti-cancer medicine at home using very simple ingredients, very low-cost ingredients. We've come up with a way to do this. So if there's any effort to take me out in the next year or so before this patent comes out, that's probably why, because this is really breakthrough technology for humanity. And my intention is to release that to the public. And in fact, I may just release the process before that, but I don't want somebody else to try to interfere with the patent. There's all kinds of games played at the patent office. The safest thing is to just get it patented first. Anyway, enough of that. Secondly, about Joe Rogan and Edward Snowden, kind of continuing from what Alex Jones said. Edward Snowden is, in his own way, a hero figure. He's obviously a brilliant person, very intelligent in his area of expertise. But I need to say, on the record here, that Edward Snowden does not know what he's talking about when it comes to geoengineering. There are over 100 geoengineering patents that are on file with the Patent Office, and many of them have been taken over by the federal government itself. The government has a multitude of patents about geoengineering, atmospheric chemistry alterations, stratospheric aerosol injections, Project ScopeX, all of these things. It saddens me to say this, but Mr. Snowden, you are a brilliant, courageous person, but please don't speak about these things of which you have no knowledge. We who have been studying these issues for many more years, we are very much aware of this. I mean, even Geoengineering Watch, I think it's .com, has all of this documented as well. And what is it? Wigington, Dane Wigington has been a guest on InfoWars before, and he's well informed about all this. And Edward Snowden does not know what he's talking about. Thirdly, about Joe Rogan, I have been told a couple of months ago that Joe Rogan actually got me banned from Twitter. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I was banned from Twitter, deplatformed the day after I publicly criticized Joe Rogan for interviewing Jack Dorsey, who is, in my opinion, an unindicted criminal who is engaged in free speech, trampling free speech for all Americans. Now, I don't know if what I'm being told is 100% true, but I'm going to put this message out to Joe Rogan. I hope that you did not call for me to be deplatformed, because that would be a super low blow. That would be lower than quid pro Joe if you did that. So I hope that's not the case, but I would sure like to hear from Joe Rogan whether you got me banned from Twitter, because that's unacceptable. If you're in a UFC fight, you don't, knee somebody in the crotch and gouge their eyes and throw them out of the ring. You engage in the competition, you engage in the debate, you let everybody speak so that there can be a debate. And I hope that you're on the side of allowing people to speak freely so that we can all engage in a debate. I hope that what I heard was wrong about that. So I would like to hear from Joe Rogan on that point. And if you did that, if you got me banned from Twitter, you need to unban me from Twitter, okay? Because we all deserve to have free speech, even you, even though I don't agree with everything that you cover. But it's wrong to censor people just because you don't like what they have to say, or just because they might criticize you. It was actually a really mild criticism even. It wasn't even a big deal. All right, moving on with other news. We've got an article that we published today. It's on Natural News, but this has been covered elsewhere. The FBI covered up a child sex cult in the 1980s. And this child sex cult was called the Finders. I've got the printout right here. It's an astonishing true story about how the intelligence community has been involved in covering up child sex rings and pedophilia rings and child trafficking for decades. This was decades ago. So when you talk about modern day, Pizzagate, or you talk about the Jeffrey Epstein blackmail, child pedophilia, child trafficking, blackmail of globalists and so on, and how he was protected by the intelligence community, the same intelligence community that's trying to take down President Trump. Guess what? That's nothing new, folks. That's been going on for decades. I didn't even know how far back it went until one of my researchers and writers covered this story. It was this sex cult. They were abducting women, children, and other victims as a well-organized criminal pedophilia ring. And the U.S. intelligence apparatus was covering for all of it. This is nothing new. I'm telling you, these people have been engaged in demonic child sacrifice, ritualistic child sacrifice, abortions, and actual bloodletting of children. Where to even go with this? Are you aware, by the way, that the Ambrosia company in California has been given a green light by the FDA to now sell children's blood to be infused into the veins of wealthy clients who come in and pay for children's blood? Did you know that? And that's been green lighted by the FDA now. So the FDA says they could do that even though it's not proven to have health benefits. It's called Ambrosia. It's back in business. So if you want to pay, I don't know, what is it, $20,000 a liter, you can go get the blood of children dripped into your veins. Well, guess what? That's nothing new either. They've been doing this for centuries. The global elite, they have been drinking children's blood. They have been infusing children's blood. They have been harvesting children's blood. Did you know that in the United States alone, there are over 480,000 missing children reported every year? I think I've got that figure correct. 480,000. We're talking about almost 500,000 children go missing every year in the United States alone. Where do all those children go? I mean, some of them are found, but some of them are never found. Guess what? They're being used up. They're being harvested. Their blood is being harvested for operations that try to extend the longevity and the demon power of these globalists. That's how evil they are. And what I'm mentioning here just barely scratches the surface, folks. I mean, Alex has covered some of it before. It goes way deeper down that rabbit hole than you could ever imagine. The reason I mention this is because this is what we are up against. This is what Trump is trying to defeat. This is what is trying, this pure evil, this demonic evil is what is trying to overthrow the 2016 election, rule over us, silence us, get Trump out of office, and turn America into an authoritarian tyranny. And we have got to stop it. And we have got to call for divine intervention, by the way. Help us, God, to stop this demonic evil, because everything is at stake, everything that we value. So Infowars.com is where you're going to get this information. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Mike Adams here for the Alex Jones Show. Now, coming up next, Owen Schroyer on the War Room, possibly with an update from Millie Weaver, live from Kentucky. I know she's covering that issue very diligently there. Maybe some breaking news coming out of that. Don't miss it. Also, impeachment, the fake impeachment hearings happening today. Owen Schroyer has comments on that as well, and other breaking news. He's always fascinating. He's always well-informed. Stay tuned. It's all coming up. Infowars.com is your information hub for truth. Thanks for watching.
Silicon Valley thinks you're a dumb jellyfish. They think the West is dead. They think if they censor nationalists and patriots off the internet, you'll just forget about us. And then they'll be the only information out there. Well, so far, that's not been working too well for them. Thanks to you spreading the word steadfastly that the resistance to globalism is alive and well at banned.video. And now we've added a lot of new functions and a lot of new hosts and contributors to banned.video. So please bookmark it and check it daily. And even more importantly, tell folks about banned.video and realize that you can take it with you anywhere you want on your, quote, smartphone to put our free app on your device in defiance of big tech, whether it's Apple or Droid. You simply click the share button on your phone and then add to home screen, and then there's nothing the scumbags can do. The power of America, the power of freedom, the power to build a better world and stand in the face of the censors and the tyrants is alive and stronger than ever at banned.video. But it's up to you to unleash its full potential. Banned.video.
Taking advantage of one of nature's most nutrient-dense ingredients, VasoBeat will be your new favorite InfoWars Life formula. Using only water and beetroot, VasoBeat is the most concentrated liquid extract of beet on the market. With concentrated beet extract, you can get the high levels of betaine, nitrates, and antioxidants you want to help support a healthy liver, athletic performance, blood vessels, and more. Don't overlook the power of beetroot. Get your naturally occurring potassium, folate, vitamin C, iron, selenium, zinc, vitamin K, and more. With one of nature's greatest treasures in VasoBeat from InfoWars Life today.